The Miles Morales Platinum Trophy is the closest you can possibly get to a shovelware Platinum without being verbally fisted by the trophy hunting community, which is why I decided to channel my inner black teen and go for it today. So without further ado, grab some fried chicken and your favorite flavor of Kool-Aid, and let's get into it. The story starts with a prisoner transport gone wrong, which led to Rhino and a bunch of prisoners escaping back into the cesspit we all know as New York City. The prisoners were the least of our worries though. We had to contain Rhino from literally destroying the entire city. Somehow we ended up riding Rhino through a shopping mall, which gave us our first trophy. I was a little disappointed because I could have gotten one for running through 15 breakable objects, but I didn't, so I'll just have to come back for that one. Anyways, fast forward about 2 minutes and Peter was knocked the f*** out, so it was up to us to single-handedly defeat Rhino, which we of course did, and got to meet Simon Krieger of Roxxon Industries after. And you know what? I can tell from the tone of this guy's voice that he's definitely gonna be a super awesome guy, and there's absolutely zero chance he could be a villain. Anyways, after that, Peter said, and I quote, "I'm finna go to Snow Bunny Heaven, gang," and proceeded to give Miles a gift and throw up a gang sign before fucking off for the rest of the game. Anyways, we open our gift from Spider-Man, which was a suit and a trophy. We were then informed of a break-in at Roxxon, so of course, us being the now only Spider-Man, we go to check it out. Our investigation was cut short though, because we got attacked by these purple retards called the Underground. We made short work of them and headed back to our mom's house for Christmas dinner or something, and we found ourselves fixing the power issue. Now, I don't know how no one saw a black kid literally crawling on their windows, but I guess this is just a question we'll never get an answer to. Anyways, switching back to Spider-Manning, we had to fix up this train station, which gave us a trophy, and we immediately installed a new suit mod for yet another one. Before we get back to the main story though, I wanted to get one more sweet trophy. And the one I decided on was Launch, Swing, and Dive, for getting spectacular or better on a traversal challenge. Getting back into the story, we threw a snowball at this and proceeded to head to Miles' mom's rally, which of course went completely wrong, and we were now getting attacked by the Underground. We made short work of them and rushed to the bridge where more Underground was trying to steal Roxxon's new form. And as if this day couldn't get any worse for Miles, his Venom powers completely blew up the bridge and probably killed a bunch of people. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because I saved who was left and popped another story-related trophy. Genki and I then designed Miles' classic suit so we could have some fresh drip for future trophy hunting. Speaking of trophies, I accidentally popped one when I was trying to get a collectible off this boat. I don't know why this is a trophy, but I am not complaining. Anyways, we went to this old building to gather more information on the Tinkerer, aka Finn, and found out that new form is actually bad, and that Simon Krieger guy from earlier is a bad guy. Surprise, surprise. With this new information, we decided to break into Roxxon Lab for Finn's phone, but we actually found out our Uncle Aaron was the Prowler. Long story short, we got what we came for and popped another trophy for completing the mission. We then took a short break from the story to pay our respects to Stan Lee. After meeting Finn at a coffee shop and convincing her we wanted to join the Underground, we did this goofy-ass initiation where we had to jump off a literal crane while it's snowing outside. I mean, imagine if a wannabe Underground member just slipped and fucking died. Like, did Buddy just give up his life trying to join the Underground for nothing but a purple strap-on and a dream? Anyways, after sneaking into the Underground base, we managed to find a map with all their hideout locations. And you already know we're gonna have to do all of them for that 100% trophy. Anyways, with that, we escaped the hideout and popped trophy number 10. And we then crafted a visor mod for another quick trophy. The next trophy I decided to go for was Up and Over. For this one, all I had to do was do a Venom jump, then a Venom dash on the same enemy, because Spider-Man doesn't kill, right? We then went ahead and got Dodging Light for getting a spectacular better rank in a stealth challenge. Now, unfortunately, my dopamine receptors are absolutely fried, so you know I had to go for a few more trophies before going back to the story. The first of 3 being for getting a 100x combo. Now, this trophy almost made me lose my mind, and you could even hear my frustration that my controller mic picked up after a close call. So we ended up getting a trophy for getting a spectacular rating in a combat challenge, and then finally getting that 100x combo trophy. After all that, I found myself in a bit of a collector's mood, so I went ahead and got all the time capsules for yet another trophy. We then finally decided to go back to the story, but not for long though, because after breaking into yet another base and chasing the Tinkerer through the city, I got another story trophy, which kind of put me through another trophy binge. Usually I finish the story before going through miscellaneous trophies, but something about the Spider-Man games just make me want to do everything but the story. Now, if you think I was kidding about the trophy binge, I wasn't. Just watch. I decided to start with defeating 50 enemies while camouflaged, which you don't need to do in stealth, but it's obviously better and it can go hand in hand with some other trophies, like performing 100 total stealth takedowns. I then decided to go for Never Saw It Coming, for completing an enemy base without being detected. At first I tried doing it in a Roxxon base, but after about 10 minutes of failing, I decided that was retarded and went to a more open underground base where I successfully popped the 20th trophy. I then popped a couple more for performing 25 wall takedowns and crafting 10 upgrades. We then shut down all Roxxon and Underground labs for 2 more trophies. We did have to go back to a couple labs unfortunately because we missed a couple underground caches, but we eventually grabbed them all and got another trophy. I then buckled in for one of the more annoying collectibles in the game in my opinion, which were the Prowler ones. You basically had to find random sounds in the environment in order to make a song or something, but anyways, here's the trophy. I then finally got the last stealth-related trophy, being from the rafters for getting 25 ceiling takedowns. After that, I went ahead and did every spider trading challenge that was available on the map, got a photo mode related trophy, and did the side quest / boss fight you can do after you do every spider trading challenge. At this point, we only have 2 more trophies to get before I finally get back to the story. That being one called Crime Master for completing every crime and all the bonus objectives tied to it. And defeat a total of 50 enemies with the remote mine. Alright, now back to the story. We left off chasing the Tinkerer through the city, but Miles called Finn and actually managed to convince her to meet atop a church. And no, it was not to get freaky. She was pretty much mad we didn't tell her that we were Spider-Man, and she was mad because she could have killed us, yada yada yada, and then Roxxon Rhino attacked! Miles tried to stop him, but Rhino's new suit made him completely resistant to our venom attacks, rendering our skinny black ass completely useless against the likes of him. Anyways, we got knocked out and woke up to the face of the dollar store handsome Jack no one knows or loves. He proceeded to absolutely flame Finn's dead relative, and made a snarky remark about how he just can't miss leg day, which left us in a room with no one but Finn and some Roxxon soldiers absolutely beating on Miles. But of course, we channel our main character energy and absolutely explode all over the place. We then sneak around trying to find the exit and found out Prowler, aka our uncle, actually sold us out. Shortly after all this, we end up in an epic boss fight with Rhino. The way this boss fight works was we had to run Rhino into these tanks, kind of like the first level, and then break his armor while he's stunned. After repeating this a few times, we were now ready for the next phase, where Rhino threw the tanks directly at us. All we had to do for this phase was charge the tanks with our venom power, throw them at Rhino, and then keep breaking his armor. Eventually his armor was disabled and we were finally able to defeat Rhino, giving us a trophy. We then got our asses kicked by Tinkerer for some reason, and our mom found out we were Spider-Man. So yeah, that's great. And after all of that, we ended up getting kidnapped yet again, but this time by our Uncle Aaron, which led to a boss fight. This fight was honestly extremely easy and straightforward, so I'm not going to bore you with the details, but here's the trophy. We were now on the final mission of the game, which starts with possibly the most pointless puzzle in gaming history. But anyways, once we get inside, we transition into a memory that Miles had with Finn. It's kind of irrelevant, but we do actually get a trophy for winning this minigame, and another one just for completing the memory. It was now time to have an epic boss fight with Finn, which I obviously won, and then proceeded to suck all the new form energy into myself, saving Harlem. Oh, and also, Finn fucking dies. And we got a trophy. Alrighty, the story is finally done and we're now ready for whatever cleanup is actually left since I kinda, you know, did all of it earlier. Anyways, we started with doom scrolling a bunch of NLE Choppa edits for the socially acceptable trophy. We then did this kind of scavenger hunt thing, which was kind of annoying because I had to actually search up the locations myself, but at least I got another trophy, right? We then did all the FNSM app requests, which honestly wasn't too bad. Plus, you get a trophy and a pretty cool outfit in addition to that. At this point, we only have 10 trophies left to unlock, so to go through some of the quick ones, I got one for throwing an enemy into a group of 3 using Venom Dash, unraveling a conspiracy theory in Harlem, and finally the long-awaited trophy for 100%ing all districts. And with all of that out of the way, we unlocked the last 3 trophies needed before we could move on to New Game Plus. Those being for defeating 100 enemies with Venom attacks, purchasing all suits, and unlocking all skills. With that, let's jump into New Game Plus for the last few trophies. All we needed to do was smash into 15 breakable objects as Rhino, since I missed that earlier, and actually completing New Game Plus. And finally, with that, I went to Jefferson Davis's grave for cinematic finish to the Platinum Trophy. Well, that's that, cum connoisseurs. I'm going to be making the Platinum video for AC Unity next, but I promise I'll also Platinum Spider-Man 2018 in the near future as well. So be sure to like and subscribe for more Platinum trophies. Mwah.